This is something that I typically go over in my curl segment or in one-on-one education, but I'm going to share with you today. So what I wanted to talk to you all about was the actual gels and the hold in the hair. And so as I started to prep and prepare how I was going to apply these products in what order, I wanted to share that process, that mental process with you all. In this kit, I'm going to want a variety of different holds. So with that, let's start at the top. I'm gonna want something that's a foam type of mousse, okay? So they have right here, a curl defining mousse. Now, when we get into foams, there's a variety of different foams that we can go into. We can go into like braid foams, braid foams, So those are good to put on braids, and they're not necessarily meant to, like, this is a curl defining mousse. So after you say blow out the hair and then you braid it down, you're not necessarily going to want to put on a curl defining mousse on top of those braids, because that's going to break up, it's going to make the curl revert. So the smoothness of blowing it out is going to just bring the curls back. So when you're using these foam on top of braids, don't just grab a foam. There's specific foams designed for those braids that still are going to promote that hold, versus something that's designed to bring the curls out in the curl defining mousse. So this is going to reactivate the curl. So you want to make sure. So that's just in the foam category. So same for mousse and all of these other categories. There's multiple. It's layers to this. Okay. So now in the liquid gels, they have a liquid serum. And it's funny, I love that they use the word serum, because I was looking for a word. I'm like, lube, like it's kind of like a lube-ish consistency, but that particular category, it's like a serum. So serum is such a classier word, so we're gonna use serum. It's so important to have that category of gel. A lot of the times, I wouldn't only just have something that's thick, something that comes in a tube like this type of gel. Like, I need my liquid gels in my kit. So there's two different type of gels here that you have here. You have the Serumi, which is like a runny, again, like a serum type of liquidy gel. And then we have a spray gel, which also can be like a spray hold, hairspray, that's kind of like in that category, or like a spray gel like that. And then you have the more solid gels, which are, so this is like gels, jams, things like that. That's a little bit more solid. So look at ooh, this is nice. I don't know if you can see, let's see, but look at how jiggly that is. This is a jelly, okay? Products like that tell me that it's gonna go into the hair really easy. You see how loose it is. If I showed you something that was like really thick and stiff, like almost like a edge control, that you have to, if you just put a little bit on there, it's gonna stay stuck on there. You have to rub it into the hair to really just like saturate it or spread it, distribute it throughout the hair. That is going to go into the hair like butter, better than butter, okay? So that is definitely more of the jelly consistency. I was expecting it to be more of like a jam or something a little bit even more solid, but I'm so happy that that's a jelly, because that's gonna work beautiful in my hair. And it's also, products like that are easier to layer on people when you need a thicker experience, but you can use a light layer for like a more finer hair type of client. All right, so that's our gels. And then we have a braiding gel. I don't have any braiding gels from them, but the difference between the braiding gel and say the regular gel is, with the braiding gel, that I've experienced that the braiding gel, just like how I was speaking about the foam earlier, it's not built to reactivate the curl. Like, it's not a curl defining, or like this one says, it's a curl enhancing styling gel. Like, these braiding gels are meant to keep the hair stiff and in place, and so that it could stay in that nice braid. So if you're pulling it straight from the root, it's meant to pull it and keep it nice and stiff, and to go nicely, neatly into that braid and stay there as long as possible. So the braid gels it's formulated completely different from a curl enhancing styling gel. So that's why you want to have those completely different, okay? And then you have the edge controls for the edge controls. Now with your edge controls, you want to have multiple different types of edge controls. You want to have a medium hold, and you want to have a heavy hold. I don't have a light hold on here, because a lightweight version of an edge control can be just regular gel. It can be even a nice mousse, or it can be hairspray. Because if you would use something, if you don't need it to be heavy enough, at least medium hold, then you could just use, again, regular gel, mousse, or hairspray. No point of adding on that extra product, which edge controls can, in my experience, and be a risk. It can be a liability, edge controls, because it's easier for an edge control, I feel like, to turn white than something like a hairspray, even though hairsprays can turn white. But edge control, since the molecule is so much bigger, and it allows so much more room and space and opportunity for air to access it. And once that air accesses when it sits on top of the hair, it can turn white. Versus like a hairspray, it's easier for it to go into the hair and then there's less room for that air to access it. But if you don't penetrate that hair, if that cuticle, that molecule doesn't get inside that cuticle and like get inside, then once if it's sitting on top of the hair, that air is going to really just turn that product white, and it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare where you see it and you see the images come back, and there's a little bit of edge control just there, and it's like, yeah. But anywho, I hope this helps. Again, watch this video over and over. Share it with your friends. This is the type of stuff that I'll be going over in the January class. Um, I'll be covering curly hair education as well as wet setting. There's a ton of information more. This is just scraping the surface. Not even scraping. This is like dipping a toe in to the world of curly hair. And so I'm really excited for you all to learn more. Right now I'm having my end of the year education sale, so definitely check that out. October, we're doing $500 off my one-on-one. So if you wanted to come into this space right now and have like be standing right here and we have a mannequin or a live model and we're actually going over this stuff and just breaking down all these theories and then going in there and then we're getting to try an edge control and try a braiding gel and try all these things right there on your model. You can see the difference and I can show you them hands-on together. That if you're looking for something like that, I have that. I offer that. And so if you're interested, let me know. I hope this helps.